Hi, welcome to tutorial number 43 for CSCI 130 Introduction to Programming here at the University of Wisconsin Parkside. Now we're going to continue with our application for the quiz for the six states that we got. So in our last tutorial we defined those arrays, states and capital. Now let's define a subroutine that will create a question. So the question is going to be displayed in my label 1, right? So let's define a sub. So we're going to say sub. So now this sub needs a name. So let's call that write underscore question. Why I put underscore? Because names of functions and subroutine cannot have spaces. So I wanted to call it right question, and I don't want that to be, like all together the right hand. So instead of putting a space, I put an underscore. And then we need a list of parameters. So it's empty. And then I hit enter and it should say end sub. Now what is it that we want there? Well, the only thing that I want is to get um, the question that says what is the capital, right? So I'm gonna say, well, label one dot text equals my question. My question is, what is the capital of, now, which of the six states? Well, I don't know yet. I need to select one of the states at random. Then it will be a good idea to generate a random number from 0 to 6 that will give me um, the that will give me the possible state, right? So then let's go over here and then let's create a random number. Then let's say dim random object as new random. Then let's say that we say dim state, one of my states equals to random object dot next. So we want a number from 0 to 5, remember? So it's 0 comma 6 to get it from 0 to 5. Okay, so now a state contains a random number from 0 to 5. How do I get that from the string? So what we need to say is, look, I want you to make a question that says what is the capital of, and then I want you to put after that the one of the possible states that are here. So what we need to do is, I got the first part of the question, then I'm going to use the symbol ampersand, that means concatenate, that means put this together with states. Which states? So here, if I say 0, then it's always going to ask me what is the capital of Alaska, because Alaska is 0. If I say 1, what is the capital of Arizona, because Arizona is 1, index 1. Now, state, variable state, remember, is a number between 0 and 6, and I don't know which number. So that's a better choice, because that will be asking me the question at random. And then maybe let's concatenate this with the question mark. So then we got a question. So then this subroutine, when I call it, gets a number at random from 0 to 5, and that will select one of these possible states, because states, remember, is a string that has six possible name of the states. So you just need to select one of those and put it as part of my question. What is the capital of, boom, one of the questions at random. Now, how is that I can see this? Okay, let's go back to the form. Now, if we press F5, well, nothing happened. I mean, we want that when this starts, we want a question here at random. So when this starts, or when the form loads. So what you're gonna do is, look at what I'm doing. Find an empty space in the background of the form, and we're gonna double click on the background. Maybe you have done that before as an accident, but I'm gonna click. Look at what it says here. Private sub form load. This means when the form is loading, when we press F5, this is what we want to happen. So what I'm gonna say is write underscore question. So I want the question to be generated. So when it's calling is, I'm calling this, and remember this is gonna display something on the label. So let's press F5 again, and look, beautiful. What is the capital of California? I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna press F5 again. What is the capital of Arizona? So when I'm loading, it's already giving me a question at random. That's what I want. But now we don't have any answers. I have the question and I don't have my multiple choice ready. Okay, so remember that we got a combo box and my answers are in capitals. So again, when this is loading, let's go over here and then say, okay, my combo box, what is it? No, combo here, combo box one dot data source, which is the one is gonna be equal to capital. Okay, so it says, okay, capital, remember that is a set of strings, so I want that to be the data source of the combo box. So I'm gonna press F5 again, and look at how beautiful is this. I got a question at random when the form loads, and I got possible answers. So I just need to select one of the possible answers. Now I need this button to work, that I graded, and then here it should say right or wrong. So now let's work on that. So that's my button one, right? So now button one, and now something else, one more thing. Maybe when I'm here and then boom, they ask me the question, what is the capital of Texas? Oh, I don't know that. Let me ask them. I'm gonna click on new question until I find something that I know, some kind of cheating. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disable this until I grade my answer. Okay. Once I grade it, then I'm able to ask another question. So let's also add here the button to dot enable equals false. Let's press F5 one more time, and look at that the new question is disabled. That means I had to answer this question, so I'm not cheating. So I'm going to answer the question and then grade it. This button is not working yet. So then here, what we need to say is we need to check for the answer. So we're going to say dim answer. So I'm going to call it, so whatever the user selects as a string, but it's something that the user selected in the combo box, right? So equals combo box one dot selected item. There. So what it says is this string is whatever the user selected. Now we need to check if the answer is right or wrong. Then we're going to say if answer equals to, remember that we created a question by assigning to state one random number. So what we're going to say, if answer equals to capital comma state, then we're going to say on label 2 that text equals correct, else we're gonna say label to that text equals wrong. Now look at that states, sorry, it's not a state, it should be state. Now look at that state is underlined because state, now that we see, is a local variable. So local variable means only right question can see it. So to solve this problem, we're gonna go to the section of global variables and we're gonna say dim state as integer. Okay, and then here we're gonna take that, it says dim, we're gonna say yes, that, so state there. So we're making an assignment. So here it says, okay, it's global. Here I'm making an assignment to that global variable. So now, which is whatever is the state that I'm, for example, if I'm asking Arizona, that's the index 1, so that's in state. So now I'm gonna check if the user selected Phoenix, and Phoenix has index 1, so that's what I check here, capital 1. So did they select it, because that's the answer, did they select Phoenix? If that's right, then it's correct. Okay, now we need to disable the bottom grade. So when we when we check for the answer, this button should be disabled. So we're gonna say button one dot enable equals false. And once we grade it, remember that we disabled the new question. So now once we're done grading, we should say, okay, now button to dot enable equals true. Okay, so we're done with the button for grading. So we're gonna check that on the next tutorial. We got now like close to 13 minutes. So I'm gonna continue and finish with that on the next tutorial. So right now we're done with the button grade. We need to test it. So I'm testing that on the next tutorial. Thank you.